had
Sergio?
Lord bless it.
One process to get citizenship.
Who would you have voted for in this election?
So it is
honestly, I don't care. I just want to know your feelings.
That's a tough one because obviously I think that I would have voted for Trump. Although I am, I'm gay myself. I am progressive to an extent, and I have, very open-minded ideas. Obviously, not too woke, let's say, but I do believe in, in some progressive ideas. But I believe that Trump really was the best choice in this election. And it's also very important, and I just want to say this real quick, is to look at the rest of the world right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
yes.
And you know what, Sergio, if that's your name, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. But once everything goes through and the process is done, you can go get married at Mar-a-Lago where Trump owns it, and y'all can tell me how homophobic.
Hopefully, Sergio doesn't want to go get married where Trump had a meeting with a KKK member. Hopefully, that's not.
Yeah, Dave thinks he owns a chat.
That I was surprised about.
Wait! I have a question. I have a question for Marie. Tell me when Trump has said the F slur, because let me tell you something. If he was homophobic, I would have not voted for him. You know who's homophobic? Obama and Joe Biden. They said they do not believe in gay marriage.
They did say that.
But Trump also said that. I'm not saying they didn't say that.
When did Trump say that? I've never heard Trump say that.
It was years ago, and I'm pretty sure I don't remember what interview it was.
Nope,
but
that's a lie because that's a lie.
Look it up. It was when he was younger, and they said, "Will you?"
I know what interview you're talking about, Marie. Stop spreading lies. First of all, interview.
He said that
I'm part of the community, and I've done my research. You're not part of the community, are you?
Of what community?
That group.
I'm transgender.
I'm not part of the transgender. I'm part of the LGBTQ. I'm married to a woman, and I have children.
Really? Because guess what?
You can go on my page. You can go on my page.
Okay.
I swear I'm not lying.
Your lesbian love life.
Everybody.
But I have nothing against honestly, truly, I have nothing against Trump at all, except for the fact that.
What I'm going to say is I do not like liars, and you're lying straight out of your face.
I'm truly not. I promise you, look up the interview.
I've never heard it.
I've seen the interview.
I think, hey, Marie, I think if he truly said that, that would be blasted everywhere. And the blue government
I've seen the
would
interview.
take full advantage of it, sweetie. So
he was in his early 30s, late 20s. He said he's not against gay marriage.
The government would take full advantage of that.
That's not the same. That's not the same interview. Though.
Okay, well, you know what? Wait, I have a request.
We're moving on from that.
Can I ask Marie to pull up that interview, because I would love to hear it. Pull it up on your phone.
I absolutely.
Yeah, pull it up. I want to hear it. It'll probably be AI. She don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Well, I was also going to say that Trump actually signed off on.
Hang on, let's hear from no one.
Oh, I was just going to say one of the things that did surprise me is that Trump signed off on the sex change surgeries for transgender prisoners. So I think that's that's awesome that he did. That's surprising.
Where did you hear that?
Just in 2018, he said, necessary operations that.
Oh, in his first term.
Yeah. Like I thought that was awesome. He did that. I wouldn't have expected that. And you can't say he's against trans people when he literally.
I haven't heard that.
I don't think he may have signed a bill.
That out there, that I never said that he was against trans, specifically trans.
You said to me that he's against gay marriage. Pull up the video.
He said his exact words were, "I do not."
It's the video. I want to hear it. I want to hear his voice.
Okay,
You're not pulling it up.
Either you're gonna let me speak or you're gonna speak.
Okay. Let her speak. Let's let her.
Okay. So he said that he is against it. In his religion, supposedly he's Christian. In his religion, He does not support it.
Okay,
He does
well, I
not
want to
support it. Did he not say that?
where's
Okay,
the
'cause you have a
video?
phone. Okay, but you have a phone to look it up.
Okay, what
absolutely
This
interview?
is my point. This is my point. I'm trying to tell
Everybody
you. I'm
on
trying
here
to
can
tell
look
you.
it up.
If that was the case, do you not think that it would have been spread like wildfire?
It was all over TikTok. The gay community had it
Okay,
all
so
over
what's the
TikTok.
interview name? I want to know.
Literally, look on TikTok and look up
I don't
all
want to
the
look on
interviews with
TikTok. I want to
Trump.
get a real source, not
Okay,
AI.
so go ahead.
TikTok.
Okay, so then
Tell me
I'm
the
not even going to
YouTube
look it up
video.
because you continue to say that I'm going to AI it, which is crazy.
Well, just
You can
let's
go
move on.
ahead
Hey, we
and
can
look
sit
it up
here-
yourself.
We can sit here and argue about it all day, but we're
I'm
going to
not
move
arguing.
on.
She's being aggressive.
We're gonna move on.
I'm just being aggressive. I'm confronting a bold-faced liar.
I'm not lying. You're saying I'm going to do AI.
Let's
I'm saying I won't do AI. I won't even look it up. I'll let you look it up yourself. That way,
we're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
all
looking-
look it up. We're gonna all
I'm
look it up
looking-
later.
yes,
I'm
that
looking
way you
up
can look it
Trump
up yourself.
says homophobic things. That's what I'm gonna look up right here on YouTube. That's what I'm gonna
Whatever
do.
you want to look up, however you want to look it up. I don't know what's going to come
We're
up
gonna.
with that
Hey,
name.
I'm telling you too. Right now, we're moving on. We're gonna move on.
Okay, absolutely. I agree with you.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I've been a hater against Kamala Harris because all she ever did was say Trump, Trump, Trump to every freaking policy question.
Yes.
I think is it Darren or Doran? I think he's
Doran.
a troll, and I think he truly is trolling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm being honest. I'm being everybody, and you're not
I'm
being
not.
you're not being truthful.
So you know what's
Okay,
so
go on.
funny?
I think he's mocking you guys.
He
No.
might be. He might be.
I
You know
really
what's so
truly
funny?
think he is.
You know what's so funny? There's no interview saying that he doesn't support gay marriage.
Okay, well then we've seen two different interviews, but that's okay. You guys all have the
Pull up the interview
go
like
look it
I'm
up.
asking. I would love to hear it.
It was
Otherwise,
an
your
older
words don't
interview,
mean
probably when he
anything.
was in his 40s. He would already was married with children.
Pull up the interview. I want to hear it.
No,
Mary,
I'm not now
think
because you
that's-
said that AI. I was looking it up and everything.
We're
You
not.
said
We're not.
twice that I was
Okay,
looking up
I'm telling y'all
AI.
right now, I'm gonna knock y'all. The first one that says anything about the damn interview. Jesus Christ. Does anybody else have anything to say, Angie?
No, I'm just glad you stopped them from arguing. Thank you for stopping them.
Angie,
Sorry,
who did you vote for, Angie?
Trump, and I have not always been Republican, and it's because of the last 8 years ever since Obama got in, and that's why I changed from Democrat my whole life to Republican.
There you go.
And there you go.
It's awesome. A lot have changed over.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party is not what it used to be.
No.
It's changed for the worst. Not in a good way. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I was gonna say I think it's awesome that Trump made animal abuse an actual felony. I thought that was pretty cool that he did that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Huh.
That's great.
That is great.
I don't know why Kamala Harris couldn't answer anything.
You don't find Kamala very attractive then?
No, I mean,
You don't find Felicia very
they're
attractive?
beautiful women, but they're not my thing.
All right. That's why they have menus in restaurants, you know? I like steak, somebody else likes spaghetti. That's why they have menus in restaurants. It's a great world. Are you a homosexual?
Oh. Look at that.
I thought you were going to kick her off if she said anything else about it.
I showed you proof.
She didn't say anything
Hold
about
on,
it. She
'cause
played it.
I would
There's a
have kept
difference.
talking. I would have kept talking, but that's not fair because she said she was going to kick the next person off that spoke about it, and I kept my
pulled
mouth
up
quiet.
I
She
pulled
didn't
it up.
speak about it. She didn't speak about it. She played it.
But that's a different interview, and I'm not saying he didn't say that. Absolutely, he did. I seen that interview.
It was in
But
the
that was
same
after.
year.
That was after.
Do you know things can happen after in the same year, Marie? Are you aware of that?
I absolutely am. But at one time in his life, I'm not saying now he's not for trans. I'm saying at one point, just like Biden, just like
God, I never said
just like
for
Obama.
trans. I said for gay marriage.
Oh, I
What
thought you
are
said for trans
talking
rights.
about?
I was sure you said something about trans. So what I'm saying
You said
is when
he's
you
not
said
homophobic or transphobic.
you said that
I pulled the
Obama.
receipts. You didn't.
Okay.
Where are
Can I
your
speak?
receipts?
Okay, let me.
No,
Can you
Marie,
guys
I'm
agree
sick
to
of you
disagree and
lying.
move on?
I
Like, you guys
absolutely-
are not going to agree.
Like
I agree. He said that
needs to
interview.
Get the hell out of here because she's not pulling up receipts. She was so big and broad about the whole Trump being
Lexi,
homophobic.
I know
thing.
this is probably a sensitive thing for you, and I believe you. I don't think Trump
Yeah.
ever said it. We don't, let's let everybody believe, let's just,
No, I support people believing what they want, but it's different when people are spreading fake lies like the left does. That is the problem with Marie. She's part of
But
the
what if I
left
said, "Oh,
LGBT
Obama didn't
community.
say that," or what if I said, "Oh, Biden didn't say that"? So then, and I truly believed in my heart that they didn't say that, even though you said several times, and other people in the comments said, "There's interviews, there's interviews, there's interviews," and
Biden
clearly I've
and
seen the
Obama both
interviews.
said
Other
that.
people have too, and you're saying that that never happened. Okay, that's great. Maybe you guys didn't see their interview. That's okay. But all I'm saying is you can't say one party didn't. One party did say it and one party did not say it. So they all at one point said they don't agree with it. All of them at one point said, "Oh, we don't like this. We don't like the idea of this. This isn't normal in my eyes."
No, Trump is for everybody. Sorry.
And I never said he's not now, but at one time his beliefs were different, which isn't wrong.
Can I chime in and
My
say
beliefs, I
something?
wasn't always a Republican. I was a Democrat.
That part, Angie.
I'm just saying everybody can change.
Changes, life changes, the world's
Exactly.
changed.
And that's what I'm saying. Everybody's opinion can change. You know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah, well, in my experience of, seeing Trump's interviews, I've seen them all. He's not homophobic. He's never said anything homophobic. So
Okay.
stop spreading bold face lies, Marie. That is the problem.
Yeah,
The left.
we're not.
To
We're
me,
moving
it's
on.
not a
We're
lie,
moving on.
though.
We're moving on.
I'm
Jamie,
with you. I've heard
Jamie.
some rhetoric like that. I don't recall a direct interview, but just because it's not produced right now doesn't mean it's not true. And like you're just going over and open debate. Like show some respect.
Who are you talking to me?
Yes.
I'm confronting a bold-faced liar who's lying to
Okay.
my
Anyways, just
I'm
like
trying to be
Chihuahua.
respectful to you, the
Stop.
Republic.
Just
I'm
can
trying
we
to be
move-
respectful. I truly am.
Okay, seriously,
Yeah.
I'm.
Maria, in
We're moving on.
2011, he said
Like,
he wasn't in
seriously.
favor of
Next
cheating.
subject.
It's not
Yeah,
that
next
serious.
subject. I don't need to be hearing lies.
Does anybody have anything to say?
New topic or?
Whatever. We're
I'm just
we're
typing in what all have you guys
No more
discussed so
leftist
far.
propaganda. I think
Jamie,
that's
Jamie, who did you vote for, Jamie?
I voted for Harris.
Okay. Why?
A lot of research, a lot of thought. I live in North Carolina,
Okay. Oh,
Which is-
interesting. Okay.
a red state, military family. I'm biracial, and living in the South for the past 20 years, you definitely get exposed to a lot. But once you leave a military town, I don't know if any of you have ever been military or grew up in military towns.
No.
I
It's a very
did. My
weird
grandfather
dynamic.
was.
I'm a military Navy brat.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Military. They have family where they've been.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have
So like
two people in my family.
growing up in a military town is definitely like the biggest melting pot. Everybody's so intermixed with everybody and it's just accepted. Nobody cares. And but you drive 20 miles down
Nobody
the
cares
road.
about what? Nobody cares about what? Color or if you're
Right.
illegal or what?
Everything. Race, gender,
If
the
you're
military is
illegal
very
or not?
accepting of gays, of trans, of
The illegal.
biracial.
If you're illegal, do you care if they're illegal?
Who, me personally, or like in my state?
You, general, your state, whatever. I mean, you say we don't care. I mean, what do you not care about? Do you care?
No. I'm saying that they like here in communities with military, they don't care. They're very open to things. But you drive 20 miles down the road and you're in a different city, things are very different. You're not going to find that open-minded type environment. You're going to find very small town minds.
Small town minds? What does that mean?
So coming from where it is, it's, very simple. Dirt roads, farm equipment,
What
just low
what do you
living.
mean by small town minds? Because
they're not been introduced to culture. They haven't experienced. Yes.
I love
Yeah,
that.
they
Oh,
haven't
that's funny.
okay.
But my mom is Panamanian, my dad's white. I grew up not really understanding race. And I find that interesting because if I would have been born to a black mom, I think here it would have been different. In Panama, where my mom's from, there is no racism.
Oh dear Lord.
Come
The
on. I
series
mean, Jamie,
is unreal.
you got a lot going on.
Yes. And the crazy part is like, so she never grew up with racism. Coming to the South, my parents were denied hotel stays. They couldn't do things. And this is in the 80s. But I love North Carolina. I love all that it has to offer. I think that people here are more open to being friends with their neighbors and that they have a common respect for people.
Okay. Let's just back this up and try to sift.
Unpack this.
So you think that people that live in a small town, they cannot grasp the culture?
Correct.
Right.
The majority, not all.
You call it small town mind syndrome, right?
Yes. Not the majority, or not the.
Are you talking about like,
but the majority? Like my mother-in-law is from West Virginia, so that takes it to another level.
The older folks who are kind of set in their ways?
Yes. So I have a daughter.
Okay.
She's 21. She's in college, and she had friends growing up that their dad said, "I'll beat the fuck out of you if you come home with a black guy." And this is today's day and world, and they're in church.
So you think you associate that saying with small town people
because they're not open-minded. Like even my son, he voted for Trump. He goes to Western Carolina.
Same, mine did too.
And I was like, you can love your party and like Republican, but I was like, MAGA to me stands for something else, because the MAGA that's surrounding me and my situation and the one stoplight towns that I frequent, it's a different type of Republican.
What kind?
Yeah, because I know
They
several
look at
people from
you
North
because you
Carolina.
have mixed children, and they're trying to figure out what my children's relationship is to me. Or they're like, "Oh, can I touch your hair?" Because I've never seen ethnic hair, and they're drawn to wanting to touch my son's curly hair. And
True, these people really exist. It really is true.
And it's hard. And I'm raising, like, my children look European, very European. They don't even really look mixed with half Panamanian, half white. But the racism out here is really real. But I
wouldn't
don't see much of it
necessarily
because
say
I'm in my
that.
military bubble.
I wouldn't necessarily say though that that's just a Republican thing. I would say that's
Nationwide, yeah.
nationwide,
agree with
Republican,
something.
and also Democrat. Any older folk that grew up around that time where those things were not right, they're gonna still feel like those things because they grew up that way.
Yes.
There's beliefs that I grew up with that I still don't feel are right and that I don't agree with because of my parents.
But that has faded so much.
It has.
That was a long time. I mean,
yeah, my grandparents were those people. I'm 53. My grandparents were those people. It has gone away so much. I don't know. it is way not like you're saying.
We have so much more interracial. I don't think the whole country sees color. I mean, you're either a good person or a bad person to me.
I really wish that was true. And okay, so for instance, I told you that I'm mixed, half white, half Panamanian. I'm like caramel color. My cousin, same thing. Her dad's white. Her mom is Panamanian, but she's very fair and can pass for white. And so I grew up listening to country. I mean, like the only music I listen to is country. I didn't realize, anything about culture appropriation, whatever, but I grew up Southern. No if and buts about it. I'm Southern.
Yeah.
And I think because I was just super loved from both my parents that I never really had to think about the outside world until I'd say, "Hey, Dad," at the mall, and a white man turned around, people would look at me and they would stare and be like, "Okay." And like I said, the example with my
People
daughter.
look at me all the time. Because I'm pretty.
Well, I am biased. My daughter is absolutely stunning, but
I'm sorry that I don't see any of that. I don't see that, and I'm in Texas. I don't see that where I live.
I think it's just those people are just ignorant people, and they're just nasty individuals. And I don't think that necessarily has to go with who you're voting for.
No,
let me ask you to us, and he would say, "I don't see color." How many of you guys have said that?
I just said it because I feel like that's a little bit being racist.
Yeah, I think
my dad had to tell me why that was racist.
Good
yeah,
Lord.
it's racist to say
My
that you
dad's
don't
white.
see color, that you see the personality.
And so my dad explained to me, he said, "Jamie."
Really?
You know what I mean?
Because I have friends that are color and they would say the same thing.
But I will tell you why my father, who is a white Caucasian, says that it's racist. He thinks that it's racist because if you see you, then to see you,
we are still color. We have color. What are you talking about?
But whenever you see somebody of a disparaged minority, to see them is taking all of them in, including.
Do you see me as white? Do you see me as a white woman?
I don't have my readers on, I'll be honest, but you do look fair skinned.
Yeah, I'm Indian.
I'm officially at that age where if I don't have my readers on, I can't see shit.
Sorry, I don't think saying that. I mean, I don't. I just don't.
But no, just some homework. Just think about it and look at it and see other people's perspective. And it's kind of like a thing that's interesting because I've been saying it my whole life and I'm fucking mixed. And I didn't really think that it had a negative connotation with it.
I'm not going to stop saying it. So
it depends on who's saying it.
No, I mean, I
really
think
depends on the context of who's saying it.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable saying that, then absolutely you should say it. It's freedom of speech. It goes back to
anyway. We're way off topic. Why did you vote for Harris, Jamie?
Honestly, because of all of Trump's business partners, everybody that he had in his cabinet. I honestly think one of the biggest things that really took me away from it is I have family that served in the military, already established that with the patriotism and January 6th. I feel like it's absolutely disgusting that the insurrection happened. And, it's not even okay, whatever, he didn't have anything to their head saying do it. But the fact that he wants to pardon them is
majority
what I
of those people were part of it.
What did they do?
There was
there's a video of a mom. Rioted, what did they do?
There was a picture or a clip of a mom, and the daughter said, "Don't go down there." And she had an ice pick, and she smashed the windows of the Capitol building.
We all know it happened. We all know. We watched it. But what did they do to the people that rioted for so long? What did they do to them?
Well, I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I think a lot of them get locked up.
I'm just asking you, do you know what they did to the people that rioted?
I think some of them got locked up from what I understand.
Yeah, a lot of them are
politicians that wanted to raise funds to have them all bailed out.
Yes, and
But it's
Trump
the
said
same
he
thing-
will pardon them.
It's
And I
the same thing had Trump not won this time. And if people would have started a civil war, like everybody was saying, right? That would have been on the people that started the civil war, not on Trump. They
And, like,
chose to go out and act like
That
animals.
is sacred. That is like
You know what I
our
mean?
that's like our
I
founding
saw some.
fathers. There's so much history. And it symbolizes
all
something not only
Republicans
to
are
us,
like
but
that.
people that go visit Washington, D.C., foreigners. That
They
come
did
are so
with
excited to
Antifa
learn about our
behavior.
history.
That was-
See that.
Antifa.
It's a national
No, the
treasure.
Proud
And
Boys
to
literally have a
Disguised as MAGA people.
I honestly feel that it was the Proud Boys, even with some of the Black Lives Matter. But these conspiracies can go down so many holes, and then it's like you just end up feeling.
We're not ever gonna get to the bottom, really. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Wait,
But
do that
what I don't like
video.
is that Trump is one. To pardon them, especially if they're on camera and they were destructive, regardless of why you did it. You were emotionally charged. A charge like that needs to stick. But they need to pay the price for it instead of being pardoned.
Anybody have anything to talk? Okay, here they go. Okay. You go ahead. Whoever was talking, I don't know who that was.
You guys want to know why inflation has come down, but demand is high because we still have these illegals in here.
Oh, he's trolling us. He's trolling.
I'm not trolling.
I would truly.
And you had asked me about illegals earlier. So we have a lot of produce fields here in North Carolina. There's a lot of illegals that do the job. And when they're like, they're stealing your jobs, I'm like, do y'all know the humidity and the heat? There are not that many Caucasians or other races that want to go on a 102-degree roof doing roofs.
Not for the price that they get paid.
Not for
Absolutely
they're not going to do it.
They won't do
My
it.
stepfather does that.
So how that's going to happen is so all of these illegals, and I get it, they should be returned to where they came from. Absolutely agree with you on that. But in the same, I just want you guys to understand inflation, right? So in the same understanding, they're going to take them, right? And they're going to go back to where they came from, whatever. And then we're going to have to hire other people to do those jobs,
So
correct?
not cheap labor at a higher cost.
At a higher cost, which is going to raise the cost of our goods in stores, which is going to make our groceries higher. So then we're already complaining about grocery prices, right? Or gas prices.
Well, even the farmers were complaining about Trump when in 2021 when he made the tariffs then. A lot of
and so
were upset.
pretty much things are going to get higher in price. It's not going to get cheaper. And the president, even Trump, they don't have a lot to do with inflation necessarily. They can't just be like, hey, your gas is going to be $3 or hey, your gas is.
Okay. So y'all think there's nothing we can do about the inflation? The end period.
No, I think that it needs to be thoughtfully, like anybody with records, like stuff like that, no good. You don't have papers to work, take their ass out. But if you're being productive and you're actually doing something
and have never been in trouble,
well, get legal.
They still committed a crime.
Absolutely.
By crossing
Right, but-
here.
Get legal.
Sorry, guys, I
Go through the
interrupt.
process, get legal.
Um,
Get legal or go, because that's they're already breaking the law when they come over here illegally. They're breaking the law.
it's just I just want people to understand that it's going to raise the cost of our food even more than it already is. So things aren't. I just don't want you guys to think, oh, Trump's in office, he's going to lower everything immediately, because that's not. It's just not. It's not realistic. You know.
We have to get control. We're already giving them so much X amount of money. Do you not understand that? We're already giving
No, I
them
do.
X amount of money.
I understand that. There's a lot here that are taking from, welfare and, all of our programs that are in place to help people that are poor.
Do you actually know the amount that we've been giving them?
I do know that illegals did pay $96 billion in taxes.
I'm not asking that. I don't care.
But let me ask your opinion on something. I feel in order to get
you can't get help if
you should be taking drug tests.
Absolutely.
And if you're a female, if you want money that somebody else has given you, I feel you need to be taking the shot.
I think anybody in Congress should be on be getting drug tested, because they are literally getting
Nancy
well, there should be a
Pelosi
work
needs
program,
to-
right?
Well,
So,
I'm talking about like for the
you-
girls who are trying to have like 3-4 kids on welfare. No, if you're going to get food stamps, you need to take birth control.
And that's
And a
where,
drug
and that's
test. I agree
where,
with that.
that's where like abortion really strikes me, right? Because I grew up in the system, right? My whole life. I had a horrible childhood. And so I look at it like the system's so overran with children that have nowhere to go. And then we're letting these, excuse my French, crackheads or these people that are having 6 or 7 kids, or the illegals coming in and having 12 babies,
getting all
whatever.
these funds, and when you need it, you can't get it.
Yeah, and then these kids, are going into the system. So I don't think late-term abortion should be a thing at all. But I also think that there should be a limit on, like, people being able to have children, right? Like, there
Well,
just
you know what
shouldn't be
I think?
something
I
out there
think
like that.
people need to start wearing protection and start taking birth control and stop using abortion as health care, because that is not the way to go.
And I believe that too, but these are the same people that are smoking crack on the corner.
It's such a playbook.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it, Marie. But what I'm saying is,
I got pregnant using contraceptives, so like that point is mute.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always
No,
work.
I know it doesn't always work, but
I don't agree. I don't agree with taking another unborn life. I mean, they can't choose. I don't agree with that.
But okay, so my husband works in the prison system, and it's really hard because in there, of course, he's with offenders, and my thing with that is I feel that if it's earlier than 12 weeks, then that's fine. But once a baby can survive outside of the womb, off the table, unless a medical condition. Because I rather them say, you know what, right now it sells, get rid of the baby, instead of it being born into a house where it's going to be
abused,
beat, and left in a hot car, or the mom's going to trick the baby out for sex. And my husband is the one in charge of watching these offenders.
Let's be careful with what we say on that. But yeah,
I would just say sex if you're going to use that word.
Because TikTok's just so ridiculous right now.
So, I see it from all ways, but I feel that if recreationally, if you're doing it and you have a whoopsie, I'm sorry, that's on you. But anything after 12 weeks and it can live outside, I feel like there's no way. But why are we not having more for orphanages and incentives for people to adopt?
I know what you're saying, but some people don't want a child that's already grown. Some people don't.
So they just want to meddle in people's business and tell them what they can and cannot do, but they don't want to help about the problem, which is
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
I'm saying some people don't want to adopt. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm saying that they don't want to
that
adopt.
child
They want
born,
to.
but
They
don't
want
wanna
to have.
take care of it after.
They want to have someone that they can, from a.
yeah, their own child, and I understand that. But the thing is, there's 90% of Americans who like to point fingers and say, "Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that." Well, Becky, what have you done to try to help the problem? Do you donate money to the orphanages and say, "Oh, it's Christmas time. Let me get some little goodies together for them so they can have something to open up"?
Yeah, I know, I hear you.
That's like my biggest thing is like we're promoting like no abortion for any circumstance, which
No, it's
is-
not for any circumstance. We're not. It's
but I think Texas did, right? Texas
Yeah,
is like
Texas did.
completely
No exceptions.
illegal, no exceptions. So like that,
But you
like
can still go to these other states. It's
Yeah,
not.
Trump
it's not.
doesn't he want to track
the
that and
but the-
penalize you?
but the drug users and the poor people can't get up and go to another state to get an abortion, and then they're stuck
Not
with a
luxury,
baby
though.
that they can't raise, and then that baby ends up in the system.
What I
with-
gotta say about that, because I have drug addict parents. Well, actually, my father died last year from an OD. Maybe people need to stop making bad choices and
That's what I was about to say.
drugs.
And I get that too,
You
but
say
that's
that
not
like it's
realistic,
easy. It's a
right? Like
disease
that's
for
not
a
realistic.
reason.
If that was realistic,
It's
then
mental
we
health
wouldn't
and it's a
have
disease.
Well, you know what's so
absolutely a
interesting?
disease.
It is
We don't know
realistic.
how the baby gets here.
Can I just say something? It is realistic because both my parents were addicts. I never made the choice to do drugs. So people absolutely have the choice to be clean or not clean and live a bum lifestyle or not live a bum lifestyle. So
It's
I
not
am
realistic
glad
to
that you
ask
didn't
that
follow
though. You
suit,
can't
but
just be
that's
like,
not
"Hey,
cut and
get
dry for
clean.
everybody.
Hey, don't
I'm
be
not
poor.
saying,
Hey,
get
don't be."
clean.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like that's not realistic.
I know
Some
it
people
is.
just come up like my lifestyle that I came up in. Realistically, for me, I should have been at everything under the sun, but where I'm at right now, like
I feel that.
everything. And
Same with me.
and I'm not. I'm completely different, right? And
We all
so
have our
it's like,
choices, but sometimes you're not stronger than those vices.
yeah. So I think we just really have to remember that that's not realistic,
Well,
and have.
I know my parents were not.
My
strong
parents
enough
were
because-
too. My parents were too,
But
and
guys,
my siblings.
my introspect on this is yes, we need to have more reform with the bill, and yes, teachings in school and making things aware. But let me tell you, I went to a Christian school and I was doing schmoke and schweed with all the rich kids that their parents were pastors and all that stuff. And we had the teachings on Wednesdays and youth group on Sundays and trips. And, you know, people are like, oh, they need to pray, they need church. And, you know, I've been in those environments and those are all fake. Like nobody really acts like that. So you can bring it into the school.
They're not all fake. They're not all fake. My kiddo goes to Christian school, but there are people that people are people. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless.
Nobody is innocent. Nobody is going to be perfect.
No, you're
And,
going to make
um,
mistakes. You're going to have to learn from them.
You're gonna make
doesn't
everybody
mean-
sins.
Yeah.
Well,
happens.
putting a Bible in a school, I'm like, come on, guys. Like, it didn't really work well for
But that's when you
people.
pull your kids out. Like honestly, I'm at the point where it's like, if shit goes left, like my kids will come home, and that's when you homeschool. Like
I
it
homeschooled,
honestly,
and then I put mine in Christian. So
yeah. So I mean, it sucks, but when Trump takes office, he has the right to put those things into place, and we're honestly, that's just how it is, and we either have to suck it up and accept it if that's what happens. Luckily, I live in a blue state, so
Where are you at?
I'm in California. So
Dorian, I got some more people wanting to come up, so I'm gonna have to say bye to you. I appreciate you.
All right.
so luckily,
I'll go ahead and go.
Good night.
Good night.
Napoleon was so
I just say
nice.
a lot of
He
people would be
killed me.
upset if the Torah or the Quran was put in the schools as well, though.
And I seen something like they're teaching
might be good for some
yeah,
schools.
like
Yeah, no,
wonder how like other countries learn about us, like how we learn their
Yeah.
world history. Like I really want to get like somebody who is from Germany, Italy. I want to know their perspective on what they think of us.
Well, we had
We
someone.
had a gentleman on here. Do you remember from the other night?
I was
from
about
the
to say
UK?
that, but I'll let you talk for a minute on it. Yeah.
We had a gentleman in here the other night from the UK, and he spoke
Yes.
for a long time, and it
Uh-huh.
was so very eye-opening and interesting. And like,
He was glad that Trump won because they have someone over there that is so progressive and woke as their leader now, and things have gone way south. He said in the toilet, they don't even have freedom of speech. If they say certain things,
yeah, like I asked
they will
him a
come to their
question.
door and arrest them.
I asked him a question, and he was not allowed to answer me because he would have been arrested.
Oh
oh
damn!
my God.
Like so, like I'm
They
independent,
do
and
not
in regards
have
to stuff,
any-
I'm open, but I'm still kind of conservative with a little bit. You know, I walk a line, and I hate when people are like, "You can't be on the fence," and I'm like, "Well, why are you trying to cage me into a box?" You know, like
You can feel the
Yeah,
way you
man, he
want.
was-
There's a lot of people that feel the
Yeah,
way
I
you
vote
want.
based off of what the policies are. I don't vote based
Yes.
on just one person or one side. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah,
it's
he was
Kil-
from
it's
the
Killer.
UK.
Hi.
Hi. Who did
I
you
didn't want to
vote-
interrupt.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for Harris and Waltz.
Okay.
And of course,
Same.
I've only got a minute, but I just wanted to say something that a lot of people don't take into account, and I'm often like shouting in the comments, like exceptions don't really work because you have to prove for like essay cases, what I'm referring to. You have to prove that in a court of law, which number one is very scary for a woman that has become pregnant because of essay. They're having to give such personal, intimate information they might not be prepared to give out. And not only that, it takes months to get in front of a judge. By then, the fetus is viable, and I don't personally believe in, I believe in non-lethal ABs, which the baby, it's born, the fetus is born, it's a baby, it stays alive. I don't think anyone is having late-term ABs, but I just wanted to really give the perspective of someone that's been to court. It takes months to get in front of these judges, and that's a lot of trauma for a young woman or any woman of any age to go through. Even a minor, I can't imagine what a minor would have to go through. So
But
to say we have exceptions, it just doesn't work.
But I know you're saying like it takes a while, but I mean, how quick do you think they should get them in there? Like it's a process.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I think if there's a way that they could somehow get in front of a judge immediately because of special circumstances, that would be great. You know, if they had at least 4 weeks, at least a month to get in front of a judge, that might be
And that's assuming that they
helpful.
found out early, because some people can find out late.
I'm kind of concerned about a comment in the comment section that Sydney wrote.
Okay.
If you want to look, I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to get banned.
How far back is it?
It's not too far back. It's by
You started to
Sydney.
talk about the underage girls, that one?
I seen it where they said thank you.
But what
So-
about the girls?
Well, good Lord, where is it? I mean, I don't see it, y'all.
That's the only thing I saw was the underage girls one comment.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still see it.
Well, maybe they can put it back up, but
Well, but yeah, that's all I was saying is, if there's a way to expedite things and get in front of a judge faster, I mean, I still don't think that's even right. I don't think you should have to go in front of a judge regardless. I mean, for essay, I don't think you she'd have to do that. I don't think
So
she'd
you
have to
think it
prove
should
herself.
be behind closed doors, just with,
Well, it should
It should
be
be more Zoom
let-
meeting type.
it should be private
No,
between the
it should not
doctor
be
and the
Zoom meeting
patient.
type.
It shouldn't be involving anyone but the
It should involve your
the
medical
patient.
team.
Yes, it actually
and
involves
that's
law
it.
enforcement as well, because they take them straight to the hospital to have a kit done.
Well, that's if the
that
woman
gives
comes
them-
forward.
Right.
A lot of
And
these
then-
ABs are being done. They don't account for all of the ones that are because of SA.
Family.
I was
You can't say
terrified to come
anything.
out about it.
And people come out years later too about it.
I
Right,
want to say
I did.
if I think I heard what you just said, I want to say that I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to ask for
Yeah, nobody
sympathy.
should
I
go
just
through
want their
that.
perspective as a person that's gone through
Nobody
it.
should have to go through that. Nobody
Yeah.
should.
But yeah, that's one big thing. When I have more time, I would love to come and talk. And thank you for letting me up. But I just want y'all to, if you haven't thought about it, just consider how long it takes to get in front of a judge.
Yeah.
It takes months, and you don't want to prolong that
No.
suffering.
I see what you're saying. Yes, I do. I didn't know it took that long. I don't think it should take that long. I don't know why it takes that long.
No, I know it shouldn't, but it does. I mean, it's just because you get on the docket and there's so many other cases going on, you're not going to be favored before someone else. But
I feel like it should be, because it is a sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be.
It should be special
expedited,
circumstances.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
but that's
I
all I
got a
wanted to add.
question.
I've got plenty more things to share later.
Okay.
If you're if you're on again, I'll follow you. And maybe we can have some more dialogue. And I just really appreciate the respect. Thank you for that.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Y'all have a good night.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I think it's really important to get different opinions from different people and to first and foremost show respect to each other.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the host has handled this very well.
Absolutely.
I only had one question about the whole, she was speaking about SA, and what I've seen, I mean, if it can't be expedited and it is turned into law enforcement, they take you to the emergency room or whatever the case may be. Couldn't they do something at that moment to prevent, anything from happening? That's what confuses me, I guess, to some.
I mean, I guess you can always, there's always the day after, or whatever they call that.
Right.
There's always that, and that's like what I was saying to her. Like, I know just because of again, law enforcement family, that if somebody is brave enough to come forward and report that.
Oh, Trixie, that's racist.
Well, I know they take all that stuff down immediately. And I mean, right when they come to them, they get all the information and everything. But it's for me, it would be the waiting,
Well,
But-
definitely.
Holly, what is up with you? You are constantly commenting stupid crap.
She probably wants to come back up here and run him
She's so
out.
desperate for attention. She's mad that I picked her.
By the way, yes, I did vote for Trump.
Oh, yes. Okay. I figured that when you started talking, I didn't ask. So Noah, who did you vote for?
I voted for Harris Walls.
Okay. Why did
Yeah.
you vote?
So I was in college the first time around when Trump won in 2016. And one of the things that happened while I was in college was after Trump won, people on campus were a lot more willing to use slurs out and about, like public places, things like that. They would call people that were gay the F slur. They
Oh
would
my God.
call like Hispanic or Latino people like
Jesus God.
I don't know if I can say it, but like
Well, I don't. Yeah, we're not gonna.
yeah.
I mean, if that's your personal experience, that's your personal experience. But
Right. But the other thing, so I work in healthcare, and love it or hate it, or love or hate President Obama, the Affordable Care Act has done crazy good things for healthcare.
And I second that. I
not,
work for
because,
United Healthcare,
hold on,
and I second
was,
that.
my HRT was way cheaper when Trump was president, and I pay out of pocket for that. I don't rely on the government to pay for my stuff.
Well,
But I think even when Trump was in office, we were still under Obamacare.
Yes, when Trump was in
It was
office, we're
not
still
under
Obamacare was a
Obamacare.
mess. It was a wreck.
No, people could,
The
if you had
affordable-
diabetes or if you had anything else, you could not get premiums. And not only could you not get premiums, they would murk you on the pricing
Under who? What are you talking about, Jamie?
before Obamacare. Before the Affordable Care Act, you could not, if you had asthma, if you had any pre-existing conditions,
No
your
pre-existing
premiums were
conditions.
sky high.
But
The
we were under Obamacare in 2016.
Under Trump, yeah. So then that goes to your employer group and what they decide and allocate, because they meet with a liaison every year and they go over the plans, and your employer group decides what they want to carry and what they want to include in that plan.
I've heard nothing but bad things about Obamacare.
I think
It's just the Affordable Care Act.
Huh?
the Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, so that's going to be wiped away under
Oh,
Trump.
so okay, sorry.
It's literally this. Yeah, it was called Obamacare to kind of.
Who started the
destigmatize it, but
Obamacare?
It literally is Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
Obama.
Yeah, I'm
I'm not
Obama
saying
started
that. Who started calling it that?
Well, I guess when they
Republicans.
rolled it out,
The
it just took
Republicans, yeah.
traction with him under it, but it's ACA, the Affordable Care Act.
Which has done a
but-
lot of good things, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, you
I
can go.
haven't heard anything.
silence.
I ain't heard nothing good about it.
What have
I'm
you heard bad about
personally
it?
not on it, but
I've heard people get off of it because they can't afford it.
I wasn't
Well, the
on
Affordable
it.
Care
and
Act is not necessarily just one plan. It's healthcare revamped in general.
I don't know. I've got my own insurance, so
Well,
I'm
that's
just
what
saying. That's what I've
every-
heard. That's what I've
every
heard.
insurance, whether you're Blue Cross, your Aetna, your United Healthcare, that's all Affordable Care Act. It's all underneath the same umbrella.
I think if
I
you
will say that HRT, like for transgender people, taxpayer dollars should not pay for that. If you want to be transgender, that's on you
And I agree with that,
completely.
because if you can't
that
even
goes
get
back to,
it,
like-
HRT,
Totally agree.
It's like a cosmetic for me.
True.
and even they said that under Trump's law that the prisoners got it, and like under Trump's law, my husband had to order male prisoners female panties,
oh God.
and that was under Trump's new law. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, that's why I said I was surprised that Trump did that.
Mm, I don't know if I believe that, if that was Trump's
You don't
law.
believe it? My husband had to order it, and he was fucking pissed.
So, does anyone have kids that are between
1-year-old.
I have an 18-year-old boy.
Holly, look at you. You're still running your mouth. I love it. It's just making me laugh over here.
Who's running their mouth?
Holly, she
I
has
know,
such
she's so
a crush on this whole
infatuated.
group.
She can't
Fans.
go do anything else. She's so infatuated.
So kids that are between the ages of 18 and 26, they are allowed to be on their parents' health insurance
Yes.
until they're 26. So that way to account for college
Yes,
kids.
and that was another thing that
That was
the
good.
Obamacare did.
Affordable Care Act
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Jamie, you're so
it
cute.
applies-
Thank
It
you.
applies to more than just like government issued health insurance. But the point of me saying I work in healthcare, a lot of what Biden Harris did for medications for seniors and helping to cap costs and
Cap on insulin.
trying to get insulin lower.
The cap on insulin was huge.
Right. It helped to lower costs for them.
Yeah, well, nothing for me is getting lower costs with HRT. I'm paying triple the price of that under the Biden administration.
Well, that's not covered even under standard plans.
Yeah.
Not even for females that have like estrogen issues, such as myself. That's a non-covered expense.
Well, I mean, there's going to be different coverages for
You
different
can-
things, y'all guys.
That
I mean,
one's not usually covered though.
So it depends on state. They asked me if I wanted it covered on insurance, my HRT, to transition. And I said, no, I'd rather pay out of pocket because.
Was that an add-on rider?
Did
you say it depends on state for your HRT?
I'm in Massachusetts for HRT. People rely on insurance for HRT.
Right, but what I mean is you said it depends on state.
So if you're in a red state, they're more strict.
Right. So
they would rather you pay out of pocket.
Okay. So y'all think under the Biden-Harris administration that healthcare is great?
Yeah, it's better than it was.
It's great. I didn't say it's great.
Not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's better than it was.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, but we're fixing to be under Trump. I mean,
because the age used to be 19, and you had to prove if you were over the age of 18 and you were not in college, you could not get insurance under your parents. Now you can be up to 26, and you don't have to prove that you're in college.
That's fine. I mean, people are going to have different opinions about the healthcare. But,
But girl, that's not opinion. That's amazing. Another, giving that young juvenile a head start on.
I've heard, well, that's fine. That's fine. That's great. Mandy, but I've heard different things, from different people. But
I think that's just insurance, period. Like, you have to wait for prior authorizations. You pay your premiums. Insurance sucks. It's a freaking scam.
Regardless, yeah.
It's a
scam.
It's
100% a scam. Oh,
but
my
it's 10 times better under the Affordable Care Act than it was before.
Yeah, but it's not going to be any cheaper under Trump's new plan or whatever he comes out with. I don't think that and that goes back to like inflation. He's not making anything cheaper for the middle class or the lower class people.
Due diligence.
We're going to earn more money.
I was paying way less.
By sending people back to where they belong, which I understand if that's how you guys said. But at the same time, then we're paying more money to have people from America do those same jobs that don't want to do them. So you're saying, oh, well.
As an American, you should work.
Have you ever heard of a
They absolutely should. Will they? Absolutely not. You cannot
Have you
tell
ever
me
heard
we're going to get out there and pick the cherries on the tree.
No.
In 105 degree weather. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
What's the J1 program?
You're not true American.
A J1 program.
Thomas,
Yeah.
who did you vote for?
Oh, well, it's pretty obvious, ain't it?
You vote for Trump?
You know I did.
Wait, what's obvious? The American flag's obvious?
Yeah. You see what it says?
I cannot.
Kind of. It's small.
Oh, it says stomp on my flag, I'll stomp on your ass.
Yeah, it's
Well,
small.
I mean, that
It's
doesn't
ornery.
that doesn't say patriotic to me. Like that is
It doesn't?
automatically Trump. I live in a military town.
I
where there's
was
a
too.
lot
I
of
served 8 years
military.
in the Marine Corps.
I'm at Fort Bragg, and
Oh, you're Army.
people have that all here in their,
Wait,
Biden or
Jamie,
Trump.
what if somebody stomps on your American flag at your home? What are you going to do?
I'll give them a lesson why they shouldn't do that.
No, I'm talking to Jamie because
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But Jamie, what are you going to do when
Well,
somebody?
first and foremost, I'm Panamanian as well, so they don't want a crazy ass Panamanian after that.
No, you guys. You are kind of crazy.
So
Yeah.
there's no point, Jamie. You would do something.
You're
and that's
kind of crazy. I take that as an insult.
No, it was a compliment.
No,
Okay.
you know what?
Absolutely,
Everybody's
100%
cup I don't have to
compliment.
be, and if you don't like me, then that's fine. But at least you'll know where you stand with
I
me.
have no problems
Exactly,
with you,
and that's the good thing.
I think you're awesome.
Here's the thing. This is America. This is the United States of America, and we have a right to choose who we want to vote for. And we shouldn't be ostracized or picked on or bullied because we vote for a party that the other person doesn't like.
Yeah.
I remember back
I'm
in
a
the day.
teacher. Just
Pardon
want
me?
to put that out there for the chat box.
You're a teacher?
Yeah, the chat's asking what everybody's jobs are.
Yeah.
I'm in a wheelchair.
Listen, Marie, don't answer their questions about your
You do
personal life
security
unless
work.
they answer first, because it honestly
So-
gets out of control.
Let's let Thomas talk for a second, you guys.
Okay. I served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. Got out. I'm from Missouri, and Buddy and I wanted to become highway patrolmen. We went down to the Highway Academy, and they said, "Oh, well, you're fresh out of the Marine Corps. Come back and see us in a year when you don't have that kill mentality." So my buddy went up to Blue Springs, Missouri, and became a cop. I had two choices: either work for the Postal Service or work for the Department like the way they treated inmates, so I quit.
Well, now the
Inmates
inmates
were-
have more power than the officers.
Well, no, the thing of it is, it says Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. If you're letting the inmates run wild and do whatever they want to do, that's not rehabilitating them to go back
No.
to society.
Yeah.
However, by the same token, I don't think we have a right to abuse them.
No.
And, prior military law enforcement, you didn't have that out of, but the guys that would get out of, graduate high school, they come to work there, got a little power and a chip on their shoulder, and they'd be stationed in the child. You see that? He took an extra tray. So what? He's hungry. Let him eat. Well, they start calling me a hug-a-thug. And it wasn't because they called me a hug-a-thug. I just believe that inmates should be treated a little bit differently and
With
fairly.
dignity.
Yeah, I mean, the judge
what
and
I'm
the
gonna
jury
put out
system,
there
that's
is
our
that
job. Our job is
videos
public
that
safety,
we
so.
Well, Thomas, I want to say thank you for your service. We appreciate it. And
Well, thank you for your
Christian
recognition.
hero.
Your
Christian
recognition, I
hero.
appreciate it. I put my picture up here, but I don't know how to do it. DOC, and about 2 months later, got a call from an old gunny of mine that I served with, and he asked me what I was doing. I told him I just so happens I've been unemployed for the last 2 months. So they offered me a job working for private security companies. So I lived overseas for almost 22 years until I got shot and blown up.
Oh
my, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's that's part of life. But
Where were you,
I'd
Kandahar?
do it all over again. I'd give my life for this country. And people's like, I can't believe what you say, that you would actually protect Joe Biden. I would. He's still my president of the United States of America. I
Okay,
would
Thomas,
protect-
with that and your consideration and, protecting, let me ask you what you think about people trying to take people's rights away, and you fought for us to have the freedoms that we do.
And I disagree with that 100%. Nobody has. See that again, we go back to this is the United States of America. We have a constitutional republic. That's what we live in. And you have rights. You have inalienable rights. All the way, you can start with the First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth Amendment. I mean, them are our rights and they're inalienable. You can't take them from us. Nobody has the power to do that. And don't get me wrong, I am a Republican. I'm a hardcore Republican. But I don't care if it's the Republican side or Democratic side. Nobody has the right to take people's rights away.
But what
Same
about
thing
Roe
with
versus
women.
Wade that he overturned? You don't think that's infringing on people's rights that you fought for?
Well, I'm Catholic, so I kind of have a hard time with the abortion thing. But here's the thing. It still comes down to it should be the woman's choice and the man's choice. I don't agree with women just going and going out for a one-night stand or whatever. And I'm not trying to be a jerk or nothing here, ladies. I'm just saying I don't believe you go out, you get pregnant accidentally, and then you go say, oh, well, I'm going to get an abortion. Well, what about the guy? What about the
From
guy?
a veteran
Where's his right then?
standpoint, does that make you mad that they overturned that and that they essentially did take people's rights away with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't have, the government doesn't, we run the government. The government doesn't run us.
Yes.
So even though I'm against abortions, we don't have a right to step in somebody's place and say, oh, you can't have that.
Like
You
it,
can't
hate it,
have an abortion.
I think they need a reform. They need something enacted to where it protects the mom if she's late term and there's a abnormality or like a
Well,
defect.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
But I don't think that it's a pass. You play, you pay. No, you need to be responsible.
No, and I believe, and I do believe it should be. While I don't agree with it, I don't agree with abortions. I want to let you know I stand firm on that. However, it's not my choice to stick my nose in somebody else's business if that's what they want to do.
And I respect that, and that's a great answer, and I appreciate that.
So
I mean, who are we? That's like saying I chew tobacco. I'm 62 years old. I've been chewing since I was.
I love your way of thinking.
I'm changing the subject.
Okay.
So does it? Okay, we got Democrats and Republicans in here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do y'all, as a whole, as a whole, do y'all not feel like the government is trying to take control of that?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's something I can't even explain. I tell you what, I'm part of the, I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning trying to check the results. There is something going on, but there's some type of narrative and the divisiveness. You know, I think that Harris ran a very safe campaign, and she was very reserved when she came to Trump. She wasn't disrespectful in terms of how she
I'm not talking about that. I'm just generally asking.
But with Trump, I feel that he was like, you follow me or you're jack shit. Like, you're going to stand and you're going to like what I say. I don't care if you're educated. I don't care if you're poor. I want your votes.
Well, yeah, of course
I don't
you
think
want
that
my
made
vote.
anybody vote.
But
Anybody
I
more
mean,
vote.
you're saying that the Harris campaign was, you know, like a walk through the daisies, and it wasn't.
No,
I mean, they
I
were
said she
calling
ran
us-
it quiet. She wasn't.
Not really. I mean, did you see the part?
She
I'll
did
tell
great
you,
for only having 3 months.
if you get a Democrat,
What?
Oh, I heard it
How
was
do you think she ran
cackling.
it quiet? How do you think she ran that quiet when she had all these celebrities that
In
she gave?
comparison to
her?
Trump and their
She ran it
speeches.
quiet. No, she did not
Oh,
run it
nice.
quiet. She
No,
had
she
someone come up
didn't.
there and shaking her
No,
ass.
I'm
on
talking
stage.
about I'm talking about talking points and not like campaign speeches or
What did she say?
She told
What
you.
did she say to convince me?
She
What
spread
did she say?
lies.
What did she say
And all
to
she could
convince
do-
me?
all she could do is shine a light on Trump. That's all she did.
I feel like Trump did that a little bit too, though.
He did.
And
Were you
I think
guys
you have to
aware
be
that
honest
they-
there. I'm not saying he did it over and over. I'm just saying like a little bit. He did go
That
back.
mudslinging has been going
blessing.
around forever, and they both did it.
Absolutely.
Did you know Kamala copied the skit on SNL that Trump did with one of the late night shows?
I don't know, but I know about peeing my pants when they emulated Musk jumping up and down on SNL.
Same. That was hilarious.
Legit was about to pee myself.
I mean, I don't really agree with Elon Musk having anything to do with it. I
really do think that it's trying to
weird.
divide. I feel that they are
Yeah.
trying to separate. I don't know if they're necessarily going for civil
That's what
war.
I'm asking. Like, don't
There
y'all
won't be no
feel
civil war. There
Yes.
won't be no civil war.
I guess my question is this: what can we do in the United States without government involvement? That
Nah.
means shit already.
But it's not supposed
They
to
have.
be. That's not supposed to be that way. We supposed to control them, and
That's
they
right.
have been
That's why
just as been the most divided.
people don't understand. That goes to the Second Amendment. People think, oh, I have a right to have a gun to go turkey shooting or target practice. That's not what the Second Amendment is for. The Second Amendment stopped them.
Yes.
We moved from
yeah,
a
but you and
country.
your drone aren't gonna match very well.
Pardon me?
I was just saying the level of weapons that we're even allowed to have doesn't even match with the government.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, it
You got
doesn't,
800,000 veterans out here that flew those planes, MRAVs, and trust me, you can take a pipe and put a 22 in it with a rubber band and a striking point, and use that to shoot somebody to take their bigger weapon.
And there it is.
You see
what
what
do you
I'm
think
saying?
is going on with the recounts?
Weapons
You
is
guys
not-
touch
weapons
that,
is
like
not
how
the problem.
Pennsylvania's trying to stop.
Over here.
Weapons is not the
Yeah, but
problem.
not for the presidential recount. Just for the
the
on
Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they slapped like 12 injunctions like hard on
I mean, I
You know
think
who
that
they
they're.
need
I
to
think
get
that
rid
it's
of?
corrupt on both sides, not
You know
just.
who they need to really get rid of? They need to get rid of that drunky woman named Nancy Pelosi out of there.
Hey, listen, I don't know if you're a Democrat or Republican, but I agree with you 100% on that.
A Republican, like it says.
Nancy
in-
needs to go. Matt Gates needs to
Did
go.
you see
Like,
her?
he shouldn't
Did you
even be
see her
allowed
on the
on
interview,
there.
or she wasn't
She
on an
looks
interview,
like
but she was
she-
walking.
You know what she looks like? She looks like a corpse with Botox and lip injection.
Did you ever see Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like that.
She looks like that woman at the desk that lets you in to the.
Hey, you guys. That's who I think she looks
But look,
like.
I don't like commenting on
Hey,
people's
listen,
looks
here's-
at
here's
all.
the
Like,
thing.
you know, I
Yeah,
think I have
that's
like
wrong.
PTSD from when Michelle Obama was the first lady, and people would post memes of her looking like a man. I'm like, you
She
can.
does look like a
dislike
man.
her
She's
character.
ugly. She's
But-
not
but
pretty.
Okay,
that's not
you're
nice, 'cause
disrespectful
we
as
could
fuck,
say-
but
Well,
we
listen,
could say
listen,
you
listen.
that
you look like a
talk-
transgender.
listen,
I
let
mean,
her-
we didn't say that.
No,
Melania-
assassinate her
Melania's
character, talk about her
gorgeous.
policy, but to sit there
We're
and
gonna
comment on
compare
a female's
looks.
opinion is low scum.
Wait a minute. Can
Don't
I
give a fuck
can I
what you
jump in
think.
here real quick and make a
Yes.
point that's gonna
Yes.
go
Low
to you,
scum.
our host.
You literally-
Everybody's
An
there
S.
saying, "Oh my gosh, that's
Literally
so
our
rude,
scum.
that's so disrespectful," because we're talking about looks. But can we go back to how everybody comes into your platform and attacks your looks?
Yeah. No,
Now that it has been
Don't even
brought
be
up
surprised
on
if
the
two of
other
the people
side,
that are in
it's
here
so
attacked her
rude and
looks.
disrespect. Oh,
That we-
they come
we're
in
talking about your looks?
constantly.
there's
Oh.
people that come in and are very disrespectful and hateful to my looks, whether they're haters, trolls, or they're
What's wrong with you?
Fangirls.
What's wrong with you?
I
don't
know,
see
let
anything
me
wrong with
just,
it.
for anybody who wasn't
here-
here in the beginning when I jumped in, the reason I jumped in, let me bring y'all up to speed real quick. I went down a rabbit hole
Okay.
last night, okay, where I researched how she got her name up there. You want to know why her name is the real MAGA lip curl girl?
Why?
Because so many people were watching her lives and they would screen record them and
Yeah.
they would stitch them and they would bully her, harass her, make fun of her, trying to go viral. I read thousands of comments last night of people saying that they were coming into her lives.
But you know what? Love you, hate you.
purposely
You're still on their
insult
mind.
her.
Who won?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, but then everybody in the chat should just be respectful of everybody's looks.
Right.
Hey, listen,
The
listen,
Republican
ladies,
just,
especially the ladies.
Can
I
I
the
grew
say,
up, I'm
Republican
Greek
just keeps
Italian.
being nasty to everybody.
Marie,
I'm Greek
you're the one
Italian,
that's
and my dad
receiving
told me when
gifts
I was a
and
kid.
laughing with people in the comments who have commented on her looks.
I have
And now they're
absolutely
down
no.
here and
That
they're
is not
offended.
true.
You've
Pull
been
up one of
receiving
them.
gifts and accepting
Because I
gifts.
said it was about you actually, and it wasn't about your looks.
Yeah,
It
and
was
I'm
about
scum, and
was
you
about
two,
your-
Jamie,
it was about
and
your
you,
temper.
Marie.
Okay,
and that
who's
you
that?
talk
The
over
Republican?
people like you're doing
I don't
right
like
now.
liars. That's the thing, and I don't like hypocrites. You both,
Yeah,
you
acts
and
like a
Jamie, are
bully.
being hypocrites
You're
because
saying that
you
we're
both.
ugly, that we're hypocrites.
You
No, I
both-
said that it's disgusting that you're making
You
fun
both
of
are
her.
receiving.
Here we go. Listen.
Hey.
No, Jamie.
I don't know about the rest of you all, but the way I was
I'm
raised
scum,
as a
then
young
so is
guy.
Marie and Jamie because they're both receiving gifts from people who have called her ugly.
Well,
And
first off, I
Mar-
received gifts from, I don't even know. Station. So that's like
Somebody send
at
me
the
a gift.
point.
And then
Oh,
Marie
I sent you a
was
few.
laughing with people in the comments of whom has called her ugly. So
I
Well,
did
first
not.
of all,
Pull
ladies,
that up.
Ladies,
Scum.
Pull that
Marie,
up.
let me tell you, I grew up.
Pull it up.
I grew up with a Greek father.
You want to say get receipts? Get receipts, girl. Send them in
I
the
grew up with a
chat.
Greek father, and he told me
we've done so
at a
good.
very young.
Really?
Are you
Really,
gonna, I
Pop?
mean, you're gonna let me say it?
I mean, do the gifts give me money in real life? I mean, like,
Hey,
why are you
yes,
talking about?
they
I don't know.
We've done so
That's
good.
like you
Let's
didn't get
not
any.
lose it over the. Come on.
No, but on a
Yes.
real note,
Maybe
like
I
I'm
was-
new to this. What
you
do
know
the
what,
things do?
Jamie and Marie, I'm going to say this. It was absolutely scummy of me to say that she's ugly. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a very, very dry sense of humor. So when I joke about things before people start calling me scummy and all these names.
You said it before I called you scummy though. And you were
what
being
I'm
nasty to
saying
me.
is that I
I'm gonna
joke.
have to put you on.
I'm
But I'm
saying
trying
to
to be nice and
Marie,
she's being nasty. And you told me to be
Marie,
quiet and I
what
listened.
you're not getting
Okay.
is I have a
Are
sense
you
of humor.
the one that was in the army? Who was in the army?
Jamie.
No, military family. Absolutely.
Okay.
My
Well,
entire
the one,
my
the
entire
girl that I'm
family
looking at
is
now
law
says the
enforcement and
Republican.
military.
Thank you, Lee.
I have had 3 family members in the military.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, let me tell you this. You're entitled to your opinion, your personal opinion, but like I was told as a young man growing up with a Greek father, you take every woman and you put them on the pedestal and treat them like
Thank you,
goddesses. They, women come in different sizes, shapes, colors, and that's the great thing about our democracy. We have a right to choose who we want.
Thomas, can I give you an air hug?
Yeah, sure.
And not just that, but the Republican, you can't serve it and then not take it. Like if you're dishing
Right.
it out, I'm
Exactly.
gonna throw it right back at your
That's
ass.
exactly. Hey,
That's
listen,
real.
lady. Listen,
No,
I get
no,
out
to
here in
the
my
Republican.
No,
wheelchair.
the Republican. Sorry.
Republican.
I might
I
not.
get out here in my wheelchair
You
at 1 o'clock in the
you-
morning, take my dog for a walk. I have a service dog that's a little
I'm
pit
going to
bull.
say this right now that I called her ugly, yes, but you guys don't understand that I joke around when people come and say crazy stuff.
Well, that's
No,
why
but
that's
if you have,
because
you think you have a dry
humor.
sense of humor, then you can't get offended when people respond to it. So you can't
Right.
be like, "Oh my God, they attacked me," and I
Hey,
said,
does anybody
like,
know
no, it
how I
doesn't
can
work
turn
that
my
way.
camera on?
Okay,
I don't know,
fine.
but I want to turn mine on too because
understand.
I look like a baddie right now.
But
You
back
might
to
look
the
like a what?
comments
actually,
about
if you,
Michelle Obama,
Oh,
like I was
turn
saying,
on.
people used to post pictures of her and say, "Oh my God, like he's married to a man," or "She looks like a man." And I'm like, how do people comment on people's personal appearances? If you don't like something she did, say that. If you don't like what she's about, say that. But never ever comment on someone's appearances. Period.
Hey, Thomas.
I completely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, but
Like if you
I'm
respect
trying to
me, I'm gonna
swear.
respect
I
you.
can't
I'm
hear
gonna
you.
throw whatever you're throwing back at me.
if you are
Is
gonna
that Kenny?
be in the public eye or you are
Hold
famous,
on.
Is that
you
Kenny
put
trying to
yourself
talk to me?
out there. You
Yeah.
put yourself out there.
Okay, say the dress is ugly or this is ugly. Don't comment on somebody and say she looks like a man.
There's a lot of people
Or-
that
or
say
just-
wrong things about
whether
famous
she's
people.
a man or not is irrelevant. I mean, she held one of the highest positions in the United States.
Yeah,
She was
and she
the
did it like
first
a
lady.
badass.
And
Whether-
RFK's trying
whether-
to talk about bringing in healthy food, and Michelle did it, and
really
they
pretty
hated on
is
her.
Melania Trump. That's a real badass.
Hey, Thomas. Anyway.
I'm not saying she's not. I think she's
No, I
a
know.
fine piece of
I
action.
can't hear you,
on
Kenny.
national TV
God
when she was out
damn.
there
Wait,
naked.
Marie, I'll comment on your looks and say you're very pretty.
Wait.
Thank you so much. I
Back up.
appreciate you.
Can we
You
all
like
just?
those
Can we all? Hey, can we all please just look
Do you
at
like
this
how
comment by
Russian
Queen
national
Ivory?
TV?
I saw it. I
Let me
saw
see.
it.
Can we all just look at this comment and can you all just give me a little help here? You aren't
Girl,
famous,
she's famous.
girl.
She's famous enough. She's on
I
here.
wasn't, but I wasn't saying I'm
I saw
famous.
it.
I
Well,
never
you know,
claimed
here's
to
the
be
thing.
famous. What are you talking about?
This is your platform. It
I never
doesn't
heard you
mean
say
you're
anything
famous
mean
or
at
you're not
all.
famous.
Stars
It's
like
just a
amount of people
platform.
in here.
You know?
I was saying people that are famous.
Yeah.
You're good.
Exactly.
I said I was.
And you know what? You know what, Mega?
Girl,
That's
ignore
what
the
they
haters.
want. If they're famous, they want the attention. So that's why they're famous.
Just
So they
raises
want
your
that
views.
attention.
But hey, Thomas, I was trying to tell you, click on your square,
Yeah.
and a thing will pop up, and you'll see a camera up in the upper
Yeah, I
left.
keep tapping it, but it don't do nothing.
Yeah,
How
I
many
was gonna
followers
say
do
hit
you
your
have?
boss.
It depends on how
Do
many
what,
followers.
Kenny?
I was
How
gonna
many?
say hit your
That's how I
boss
thought
and
you
might
did
give
it,
you an
so that's my
option.
bad.
It says you're
Oh,
connected
literally.
using audio only.
So
Oh,
no,
okay.
you can't turn on your camera. You can only turn on your camera if you have 1,000.
Oh,
Oh, I ain't got no 1,000. I ain't nobody.
what? You mean
I ain't got
1,000
1,000.
followers?
Huh?
Yeah, you have to have 1,000 followers in order.
I don't have
to
Oh.
1,000 followers.
camera.
I got 205 followers. Maybe
Well,
if we
look
get to
at-
1,000, you guys get to see me with
Okay.
my
Look
Brittany,
at your
Trump hat on.
popped up.
Brittany,
The 2 digits.
Brittany. Who did you vote for?
Queen Ivory, you
I'm
know that's not
actually
true.
I'm Canadian, but I've been very invested into the U.S. politics. I'm not here to back
Hey.
anyone's opinion or anything.
Hey,
I was just wondering your guys' thoughts on defunding Planned Parenthood, because I know some of you have very different opinions. So I'm just wondering everyone's opinion.
I think it's a bad idea.
well, my opinion is this. Of course, I don't agree with abortion. However, Planned Parenthood is something that's necessary for the society that we live in today.
Ooh, I love you.
And
The
not only that,
kids-
it offers many services, like it offers mammograms
Yeah,
and
yeah. I mean, there's a lot more.
vasectomies, and
There's a
it's
lot more
far
to it
from
than
just that one
abort.
scope.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I
And
don't. I don't agree with this.
they do
Well, let me
like
tell you.
cervical testing for cancer
Yes.
and stuff like that. And I think so many people like their perspective on Planned Parenthood is that it's just an abortion
They
clinic. And
associate
it's
it with
not.
only
No,
abortion.
but it's
so
not.
much
It's more than that.
I mean, I think it's needed because
I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't believe. I don't
Because
believe any
there's people-
any healthcare we have available to us, whether it's Planned Parenthood or the VA or just regular hospital, anything we have available. I don't think we should
So-
defund it. I mean, we should be.
So now that you've heard that, what is there anything else you have to say, Brittany?
Yeah, so I've actually been watching your live now for about like a week or two. And this has nothing to do with politics, but I just wanted to say I personally don't agree with the way people are attacking you and treating you.
Yeah.
I think everyone has a right to their own opinion, and you are more than free to use your own platform that you built from the ground up to share your opinion. And I just really value and respect that you're using your platform for that.
Hey, Brittany.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Brittany, I agree with you 100% on that.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Canadian, yeah. But I
so
do
funny.
appreciate that. It's nice to hear that from people because I have dealt with a lot, and there is a lot. You know, just because I say I am a strong person doesn't mean it's a free fall. It doesn't mean that it's a game that you have to try to get me, because it's really ridiculous. It's redundant.
But you know what? Those people are not happy with themselves.
It's hateful behavior.
It's childish.
If you had to say something bad about somebody else to put them down to make yourself feel better,
yeah,
you're
childish.
Or make the TikToks to make yourself viral,
I've been in the comments defending her.
You know, to get the viral video. That is not. It doesn't show your character in a good light. It shows it in a terrible light.
Hey, Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm up to 206. I might get to turn my camera on.
Hey, Allie,
You'll figure it out
Allie
whenever we
says
get
that
off.
The host, you disagree with.
but that's
Trump
horrible, especially you
about
having a
Planned
child.
Parenthood?
And
Sorry, what?
Huh?
Oh, Allie B was saying that you, as the host, that you disagree with Trump's stance on Planned Parenthood.
No.
Me?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
No, Allie B on the comments said, "So, host,
Oh,
are you saying that you disagree with Trump when you guys were talking about Planned Parenthood?"
That he wants to defund Planned
Yeah, he
Parenthood.
wants to defund
Do you
Planned
agree or disagree with that?
I don't think it should be. I don't think it should
Well,
be.
I was just saying that you, as the host, you don't agree with absolutely everything that Trump says, and a lot of people kind of have the mindset that you
But
are
in
100%.
politics, you can't agree with everything on one side. Like, I think you see it from both perspectives in certain situations.
And I want to make that clear. There are things that I may not totally agree with Trump, but I do lean.
I know.
more
I'll tell
with
you.
Trump.
I'll tell you. I'm the same way.
And
I agree with you 100%.
yeah, I mean,
Wow, Allie is really
perfect.
obsessed on the subject.
Trump is not perfect.
No,
Trump is
by
not
any
gonna be
means.
perfect.
No, but the problem is with a lot of his
not a man or woman
followers.
that walks the face of the earth that is perfect.
I think
Well,
I
you
have a
know,
hard
a lot
time
of
with the
people,
followers who are
people
just
that
like
I've spoke to,
everything, 100%. No matter what he says, it's always his way. He's the king.
And he can never do
like
No,
they're not allowed to think for
he's
themselves.
not the king. He's
Never
the
once.
president of the United States.
When did
We
he
have
say
the right
he was
to
the
get rid of
king?
him should he act like a king. We did that 249, the Marine Corps is a little bit older than the United States. We did that 248 years ago. We left the king. We told the king we weren't going to put it up with no more. And we sure ain't going to put up with Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or anybody else that comes in that office.
I
there's a lot of people that
I don't see those
comment.
people. I don't see those MAGA people that you're talking about. I don't see people that treat him like a god. I don't see that. I
You
don't
don't think
I
that
don't
people
see
in their
that.
gaudy Donald Trump stuff with their flags and
I have
their
all that.
hats?
Wait a minute.
That's me.
I've seen plenty of Harris signs and Harris
But
shirts,
that's
and they're
no
stuff too.
different than young girls wearing like Taylor Swift merch.
No, I'm talking about like to like a huge
For those
degree.
people that wore diapers.
And they are
Because-
to that degree with the Swifties. Don't tell me they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a Swiftie, and we
I'm
are
a
like
Swiftie.
that.
Swiftie for life.
They are. And there's a
Oh,
lot of
and-
other famous people that people do that with too.
And I wanted to
for the
apologize to
Nazi hat on their
Jamie
ear.
for offending her earlier.
Hey, listen, guys, I'm a 6'2", 300-pound white guy that wears a Tupac shirt.
That's
So it
right.
doesn't-
That's right.
It's clothes. You know,
Just
just
put on
play.
that gangster rap and handle that shit.
I'm not, I'm not, you know, I'm
Exactly.
not a gangster or nothing like that.
Y'all
But I
have
like
people,
some of Tupac's music. You
y'all
know?
have people on the left shaving their head.
Yeah.
Have
No, those
people
are the
putting-
ones. Those are the
Now,
extremists.
Listen.
Yeah,
You
they
have
look like
people. You have
skinheads.
people putting that Trump is not my president on their body.
But in Ohio, you
But
also
just like
have
there's people putting Trump, you know, on their
marching in
body.
with
It's
I seen one girl do
crazy.
that. I seen one
On her
girl do that.
forehead.
I seen one girl do that.
It's wild.
That's
But you
also
also
what I
have
wanted
people
to
that
ask
are
you
going
guys.
around with swastikas and their neo-Nazi stuff now. I mean, so you can't.
You know what's
lump
funny about
everybody
that?
into one
You
thing.
do that.
You know what's
Oh,
weird?
look it up,
There's-
girl. They're like, I think it's in
It
Ohio.
was in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
But
His
you know
father
what?
was a skinhead, actually.
Well, don't say everywhere, then say Ohio.
It was
Because you
in
know
No,
it's
Columbus,
not
several
like
Ohio.
places, but
everywhere.
the one photograph was Ohio.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of women shaving their heads and not giving their husbands nookie.
Well,
So-
because of the
Hey,
Planned
then that's-
Parenthood stuff and the abortion, the ABs, and they're
No.
trying to make a stance.
But that's not making a stance. That's just being silly.
Well, I mean, if you don't
to
want them, what
see
does it
the
matter to
people
you?
making excuses for them shave
I
their
mean-
own heads.
You
Don't
know,
give them
That's
the
the point.
attention.
I don't know
Yeah, that's-
personally, and again, I'm just Canadian, but I don't agree with like the 4B movement at all. And it's not just happening in the States anymore, it's everywhere. And it's to the point that women are sterilizing themselves because of it. And that's like
I don't
just a
think that's
decision
silly.
you can't undo.
Neither.
I don't
Not
agree.
everybody's
I
supposed to
don't
be a
think
mother.
it's silly.
extreme.
I don't think it's a little extreme. I think that that's the way they feel, and if that's
Yeah.
how they feel, then they should absolutely do
Okay,
that.
let me
I
ask you
don't-
guys this. So, as a question that I get asked from my son, I said, "Make America great." When was a time America was great for everybody?
When we kicked the Revolutionary Army out of the United States of America.
My
But
stance
there's
on
still
that is,
slavery.
I
I've
don't
seen
think-
my parents get denied
don't know.
hotel stay because they were in a interracial relationship.
One of my
Violence
best
victims
friends,
couldn't file
one
until
of my best friends
Oh, I love the victim
that I
mentality.
served with is my son's godfather, and his mother and father had to leave Africa because his dad was of Dutch descent and his mother was black, and they were persecuted in Africa worse than here. They
I
came to the
believe it.
United States for a better life. You know, all this racial divide shit. Excuse my language. It needs to stop. You know, we need to stop with all this
But it
crap.
But I think
We are
America's
all-
greater
we
now
are
than it
all
ever has
people.
been.
It actually happens a lot. It happens a lot in Chile too, because a lot of Chileans don't believe that white people in Chileans should marry.
And
I
see, I
actually-
mean, you know,
I have a
we're in
friend who's
2024. That's crazy thinking. And let me give you guys a little hint, because I'm a big history buff and stuff. We're
It's
all
not
black.
a crazy
We're all
thing
black.
because literally,
We're all-
I know somebody
we're
whose
all-
name
we're all-
Tom
you hear me?
is
Thomas,
all
I'm sorry,
black.
what were you saying?
We're all black. Before the Great Continental Divide, when
Yeah,
the world,
that's true.
before the Earth broke up into 7 different
that
continents,
seems like
we all lived on the
nonsense.
same place.
That's science.
Pangea.
That's
You see what
weird.
I'm saying? So we all got a little bit of everything in us. So, you know, all this racial shit, it just needs to stop.
But
Yeah,
the thing
it
is
needs
easy
to
for you to
stop.
say that,
Government
but
wants
it's not
them to
easy
do
for
that.
other people.
They want this racial divide, so we keep arguing with each other so they can do what they want up there because we're not paying attention.
But like,
It's
I
all
have family
sleight
on
of
both
hand.
sides that voted for each, and like my family
Yeah.
in Michigan are strong Trumpers, and I'm talking about they don't understand anybody else's view, and I just
Well,
feel like
and see,
it's
that's
gone too
wrong.
far left, it's gone too far right. We need to go somewhere in the middle and care about America.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. The
That's
government-
exactly. And we need to care about the American people.
The
You know,
working class.
we need to start emptying some of these prisons out
You need to follow
with people
me.
that's in there because they couldn't pay child support or because they got a DWI. We need to help them, get them out of the prisons, empty some of these prisons, and we could turn them into home shelters for veterans and
Oh yeah, it's a
mothers that
broken
have
system. You
children.
put somebody out on
You're definitely
release,
broken.
and then they got to pay a parole officer, and they end up back in the system. It's
Well-
it's garbage.
Well, that you know why? Because I only worked in the prison system for a year, but I can tell you there's big money in prison,
Oh
so
yeah.
it pays
yeah.
for them to keep people locked up for cheap labor.
It sucks.
Did anybody?
My husband,
know,
whenever
actually-
his people leave, he said, "I'll see you back soon," because it's
Yeah,
not
so
if, it's when.
That's not You know, that's just stupid people making comments. Instead of saying, I'll see you back soon, I would say, hey, let's try not to come back. Let's try to stay out.
Well, he gives
If
them
people don't
jobs. Like he
realize
gives them jobs in
prison-
the closed house. He gives them jobs in the canteen, and he works them. But the statistics are they do come back.
Well,
Has
because
anybody in
it's a
this forum
system
heard
of
of the
failure.
Joseph Project?
It's a system of failure. It's
Did you
intended
know?
for you to fail.
Did you guys know that Trump is going to try to pass a law to give the death penalty to rapists and traffickers?
Listen, we
Matt
probably
Gaetz
don't
needs
want
to get on that
we probably
list.
don't want. We probably don't want Tommy's
Jamie,
opinion
hold
on
on,
that.
Thomas. Jamie was trying to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What were you
Oh
saying?
no, you're fine.
Jamie?
I was just saying,
Jamie,
like,
go ahead.
I agree with the penalty for that.
Yes, that's what I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
And
Thank
I said
God
that
I
Matt
did.
Gaetz is on that
100%. Hey,
Finally,
listen,
Jamie
again,
agreed.
working in the prison system for only a year. But let me tell you, I see guys leave prison because they had DWIs, don't come back. I seen guys that leave prison because they didn't pay child support, they don't come back.
I think a lot learned their lesson.
Well,
Do better
but,
and
but
become.
the rapists and the
I'm in
child
school
molesters, for some reason, you just can't fix
now,
them.
so
I think
No, that's a
something
broken.
wrong.
It's, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's mental.
There's
Yeah.
something.
And I feel
Yeah.
that those, I feel like they didn't bring the death penalty back for
A
those.
lot of people,
I agree, Jamie.
though,
I've been
who
saying that
were
for years.
a lot of people who were molested as children become molesters.
Yes, it's a
too,
cycle.
Well,
and
that's true.
It's a cycle.
And I'm
There-
saying
that's
not
true.
the ones who might
I'm
not
a
be guilty. I'm
victim.
talking about the ones that there's evidence.
You're not going
they
to
have.
stereotype. You're not going to stereotype because
I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
don't think that's truly true. No.
I'm a
I
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
that's
sure.
either. Like,
Same with
what's
me.
the source of that? I need like an actual
I'm a
like
survivor,
Yeah,
Marie.
because I can't,
source.
Disgusting.
like,
Everybody.
I don't
Hey,
know,
but-
you
There's
know.
a lot that do become.
No, I get that, but you said
I
all of
know
them.
You
because
said the ones
I
that
was in the system, and a lot of the kids that were in the system with me were
that
children
doesn't
of
mean that you
molest
can speak
that
to
molested
it just because
molested
no.
other. But
Are
I have
you a
lived
victim, Marie? Are you a
behind
fucking
it.
victim?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, then you know what? Then you shouldn't even be saying that shit.
No,
No,
but I'm a
because
social
it's
worker,
real.
and the
It's
statistics
real.
of the
It's
victims
disgusting.
that it happened to, it is a huge
label
statistic.
and put everybody
It-
that
it-
has
No,
is
I
it
know
not,
that,
Jamie?
Jamie.
Is
No.
it not,
You're
Jamie?
saying
put
some
everybody
bullshit.
that was had that done to in a pot that they do. You know, you can't do that.
But let me ask you, especially since we're so big against the S-Aid, what do we think about the cabinet picks that all have allegations?
Yeah, I think that's pretty horrible.
Just because it's allegation don't mean it's true.
Or where they have proof of where Matt Gaetz flew two of them to New York and the 17-year-old that there were relations with.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough evidence to convince me.
So like
You
we
need
don't
to
believe
have
that
DNA
Trump did
evidence,
it?
and you just don't wait 10 years
Even
to
if we
come
get
out about your.
DNA
Okay, what about
evidence,
Trump's
we still wouldn't believe
allegations,
it.
the numerous?
let's
You think
talk
that
about
they're all
Trump's
lying?
allegations.
All bullshit.
Yes, that's what it is. It's
Well, they're not
allegations.
allegations, they're actually convictions.
Yeah, they're
But
convictions.
they're convictions.
Then he would be in
Yeah.
prison, and he would have to register as a
Baby,
sex
we all know
offender.
that money talks. It's just the way it is. I had a
Absolutely.
rich boyfriend in high school, flipped his car, did all this stuff. Money talks.
Nobody's above the law.
Okay. We want to
Look,
talk
how
about
many
Trump.
times
What
you
about
gotta
Diddy?
see,
What
like,
about
be
Diddy and all
careful.
that other stuff?
Oh.
You know,
Diddy's a POS. And
Yeah,
I think
he
that Trump
really
was
is.
heavily
all
in
the
it.
famous ones. You know.
I think Trump was heavily in it, and Elon. If you look at the shareholders for X, Diddy is one of the biggest contributors on X. The shareholders.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
I will.
On what? On what? Look
On
it up
X.
on what?
If you look at the shareholdings for X,
Go to
and who
Google.
owns
Go
it,
look it up on
Diddy
Google.
does.
Don't necessarily mean anything.
No,
No.
but look at all the
Personally,
communications
but-
between Trump or the meetings.
Communications with the famous people.
And then he was
they
like,
went
"Oh,
and
Trump's a
started
great guy.
linking
Trump's
all
a great
all
guy."
the stuff with Diddy.
What about
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
someone
video of
commented
Kamala
and
Harris.
from that
said-
Just
debate?
because
About
Trump
Kamala Harris
had conversations with Diddy doesn't
Diddy
mean
party.
he knew what was going on.
Yeah, like someone said Diddy has pics with Trump, but he also has photos with Kamala. He has photos with
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift, like thousands of
I don't
celebrities.
mean nothing.
I'm
Like,
gonna
I just
tell you, I
think
lost
they
a lot
were
of
aware of
respect.
everything that
Of
was
Trump
happening.
and Diddy,
Wow.
and then
I'm gonna tell you, I lost a lot of respect for Montel Williams. This guy was a former Navy SEAL, made some of his life, and then they got pictures of him going to Diddy's parties with Kamala Harris. It was called a whiteout, and he was there. This is
How
the
about
United
from
States Marine.
through
I mean, this is the
conviction?
United States SEAL.
How?
He was part of
Because
the SEAL team,
so are we
and
not?
he does this.
No, but seriously, look at the shareholdings for X, and you'll see Diddy's name top 5.
But Jamie, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to try to keep an open mind. Do you think Trump knew that Diddy was doing these things? Because
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's why he stayed away.
Someone said Diddy endorsed Harris.
He did.
I didn't hear that, but I mean, I don't know about all
Alicia,
that.
won't you come up in the chat and say it to my face?
Can't you check their donors list and see who donated?
Well, if you come up in the chat, you're not really saying it to your face. I mean, come on.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying that if people are going to mouth off to me in the chat, come
Well, I
up
feel like
here.
we could go down that rabbit hole. We definitely probably should get on a different subject because I'm talking about
Let's talk more about
Let's
education.
talk more about what we can do to make
I have
America
good
great.
news. I'm in school for criminal justice.
All right. Good.
So I'm going in to become a detective.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, you got a ways to go, hon.
But let me ask you guys, what do you think about the no fault divorce?
No fault.
Yeah, I think that's backward.
That's exactly why I'm saying they try to take women's rights away. Because, you know, if you're a homemaker, I was a homemaker for 20 years. You know, I relied on my husband. I raised the kids. I did the stuff. If I wanted to leave him and I took it to the court, I have no money. I have to prove that not only do I want a divorce, but now I have to prove why. So it's going to be a long, drawn out process. It's going to be lengthy. It's going to be pricey. And that's just not fair that you can't just go to a judge and say, hey, I want a divorce if both parties agree on it.
Well,
Texas
it's funny
is
that you
really
brought
trying to
that
set
up
people
because
back.
years ago, I was on a show called the Sally Jesse Raphael Show.
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh, I remember that name.
And it just so happened, I went with my mother, my godmother, and my aunt. And I was like the only guy in the audience. And she had a woman's rights attorney there. And that was one of the subjects they brought up. What should a homemaker do after she's been married, you know, to a guy for 20 years and then he cheats on her, she wants it, whatever the case may be. And I thought my explanation of what she should do was plain and simple, which was simply, put your big girl pants on, get a job, and go out there and start your life.
But you have to figure, in the car that he controls, in the house that he controls, she's in charge of getting the kids ready for school, taking care of their lunches.
Well, wait a minute.
He restricts
I thought
those
a
from
marriage.
her.
Wait a minute. I misunderstood this because I thought a marriage was 50-50. You become one. Ain't that what the union is? You become one. So how does he
guys
have
with an
complete
ego,
control?
like my husband, I don't care if he's a CEO, I'll drop him to his knees. One throat punch, boom. But not every woman is built like me. Not everyone is about that life like me. There are some women who are so subservient to their husband.
But I mean, listen, we all make choices. We all have we all have the ability to do things. I mean, listen.
Theoretically, that sounds great, but
whoever posed that question about my husband leaving after 20 years, I mean, you sound like a strong person. So I don't have any doubt that you can get a divorce and move on with your life.
But what you don't understand, Texas is like they like them barefoot,
I understand
pregnant,
Texas real well.
no resources.
Well,
they can't do anything.
Real Maga lip girl
I'm in
lives
Texas. I'm in Texas.
Who's in Texas?
Me.
Oh, you're in Texas?
I was born and raised here. Yes.
Okay, so you can speak to that. How do the men
what
like their
part of
women?
Texas?
What do you mean?
Close to.
How do they like them? Pregnant and barefooted. Like it's just the lifestyle there. A house with land.
We're past that. We're past that, ladies.
Oh, look at the stereotyping, but I'm stunned.
We do jobs. We have jobs.
Yeah.
What's that new stupid thing that people are doing? The trade wives or trans wives?
Listen,
very loyal.
my mom had one of the hardest jobs a woman can ever have. She raised children and took care of a house.
Exactly.
That's not an easy job.
You don't call that a
Say
job.
louder.
It's an important job.
It's a very important
I have
job.
a question. What do people think of stereotyping? Because Jamie kind of stereotyped Texan women. That's
I
really
think Texan
stunning.
women are beautiful.
Well, I'd stereotype the
I used to
area.
sell Kirby vacuum cleaners. That's why I asked
A
you.
lot of
I went to work
land,
for my uncle down in Texas when I was younger.
But what's wrong? Okay, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
What's
What's
wrong
wrong
with
with
that?
what? What's
I
wrong with
believe
what?
Jamie should have her own opinion, but stereotyping Texan women is not okay.
It's not like
I
that.
actually
But there's
have a
nothing wrong
friend.
with
The
what
judges
you
and
stay
Trump
home
are
and take care of your
pointing is
family and your
stereotyping
kiddos
everything.
and raise your kiddos to be amazing Americans.
Yeah,
and
that's
guide them
that's a hard
and
job.
guide them.
That's a
and guide
hard
them
job.
to be amazing human being. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's a hard job for women to
I
have.
mean, I was the Texas wife without the Texas. I don't think there's anything wrong with
It doesn't give you a right to stereotype.
Oh my God, you think you're stereotyping
because of
and
how you
picking the little
lived.
fights. Calm
Does
down. It's not
anybody
that serious.
think that the president of the United States?
You don't have to
should be a
calm down. You
representative
stereotyped a
of
group
Americans?
of
Yeah, nobody
We're
gets
not,
calm.
we are calm. I was just speaking to it because I'm a Texas woman and it's
No, I
not
was talking
true.
to the Republican because I was like, I was just saying, you asked me a question about what I think about, because I had mentioned in Texas that the judge appointed one there had said the ruling for the no fault divorce. And so the family model, kind of like the JD Vance family model, so to speak, where the women stay
Ouch.
home,
Okay.
the men do everything, because according to JD Vance, that's all women are good
I
for.
wasn't arguing. I don't like when people stereotype
You know,
You stereotype all Democrats.
or
Well, I'm talking
fighting.
about the
I
JD
should
Vance
say.
model, and he said that. So I JD Vance model.
Okay, well, you're not in Texas and you're not a Texan woman.
Did you not hear the part about where I said I did all the things, but I'm not in Texas? But anyways, you're
You
not
don't care
relevant
what
right
you
now.
say because you
Anyways,
stereotyped Texan
but,
women.
I'm not going to argue
That's
about
what you
stereotyping.
did.
So what
But
do you
you've
think
been-
about
but-
the law and women being able to get back on their feet after a no-fault divorce?
I think women deserve to go, they can go find a job and do all those things. But when you were stereotyping Texan women, I didn't like that. And I
why are
wasn't
we
trying to
talking about the divorce so much? Like,
Oh man.
people don't stay together. Maybe they
But
did
the-
that
the
because
laws
they made
make
that
it
They're trying to take it
incentive for
away.
them to stay together and work
That's
it
why.
out.
Because they're trying to take it away. I think
They're
that's
trying
why
to take it
they're trying
away.
Yeah.
Trying to take what away?
We're
The
trying to take that
no-fault
right
divorce.
away.
No fault divorce.
Yeah.
They're trying to take that right away.
Uh-huh. They want to do away with a no-fault divorce where you and your husband go in and say, hey, we don't want to be married anymore. Boom, it's done. They're doing away with that. So now you have to spend all this extra time in litigation, spending money and extra time to prove why you deserve a divorce.
But
You can't just get a
Jamie,
divorce anymore.
Jamie,
Exactly.
that's the
Well-
same reason that I feel like they don't hear. It's like Republicans don't necessarily hear the things that we're hearing, or maybe aren't
No.
looking
So-
it up or understanding it.
So you think,
More
so you have
stereotyping.
to have an obvious
It's-
reason
it's
to get a
true.
divorce, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
that's kind of what I was going to say. Like,
Right.
usually it's because of an infidelity.
Yes, infidelity,
Or
abuse, but that's not always the easiest to prove.
Okay. So you have to
Well,
have.
women are better than the FBI. When you want to find it out, you're going to find it out.
So you have to have an obvious reason for divorce, right?
Yes.
Well, you got to have an obvious reason to get married too.
I'm just
When you go
asking.
get
I'm just
married,
asking. So you have to have a fucking reason, right?
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's probably because the fucking divorce rate is skyrocketed. Maybe
Exactly.
that might be a good incentive for people
But
to
again,
work
that
the
goes back
shit
to
out.
people's rights.
You
Like,
have
Maybe
to
not
have
get-
a fucking good reason. Yes, I fucking agree
Yeah.
with that.
But do you think it's anybody else's business
It's
between
not.
two people?
It's not.
It's not, and it shouldn't be up to anybody else. Just
Well,
like
then
it shouldn't
people
be
need
up
to
to
stop
anybody else
making
about
it people's
abortion.
business. That's what needs to happen. if
That's
that's
why
the
that's why
case.
they want to keep the no fault divorce.
Yeah, that's why I don't think that you
Nobody's
guys are
sexuality
understanding.
should, or divorce or marriage should be anybody's business.
So right, but the Republicans are trying to make it their
Yeah, they're
business
trying
and
to
say
make it
that
their
they
business.
can't get divorced.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys know exactly what you voted for. I'm a little confused.
I'm just saying, I'm for
Come
that.
on,
I'm for
maybe you
that.
should go shave your head.
I think.
Oh, honey, no. Do you see how pretty I am?
now you're
Like the
stereotyping.
people
You
that
are
don't
pretty.
I think you should. I think you should. I
people
mean,
that don't understand the overtime.
everybody's so quick to get a divorce.
Do you see
I
how it
agree.
feels?
Nobody
So?
wants to
Do you
make
see how
anything
it
work
feels to be
anymore.
stereotyped?
But I didn't stereotype
What I was
you.
doing.
My grandmother and grandpa were together for 50-something years.
I feel
Do you think that they didn't have problems? Do you think
How
that
old
they
were
didn't
they
have
when they got
problems?
married?
Do you
How
think
old
that
were
they
they when
didn't?
they got married?
In their 20s.
Yeah, they're young. Seems young.
But they should
Do you
also
think
have
that
the
they
right
fact,
didn't
I'm
have
actually
problems?
not married to my husband. We've been together for 22 years, and I feel like we both have to work harder to keep each other because either one of us can leave.
How about interracial
I
marriage?
agree that you can have a husband and not be married with government papers. Like,
And
you
like
can
all
call.
like my daughter was like the flower girl in multiple weddings, and each of them are on like their third wife.
Good
I
Lord.
think that
Yeah, it
your
should be a
right should
contract
be your
in the
right.
first place. I agree with Dr. Trump.
And nobody should have a right to say what you can and cannot do with your body and what you can and cannot do with your
Or
marriage
race
or
you
your
can marry.
life or anything or who you could marry or what you can do.
But
Like
that's what the
that just
Republic, the
if
strong
you're
right,
if you're a
is
decent human
doing.
being, working citizen in the United States, then the government shouldn't be in your business.
We're already there.
I know, but that's
They're
what you guys
so
voted
far
for.
there that'll never
That's
end.
the problem. Is that's what we
So
voted
y'all
for.
think, okay. So y'all think Trump is going to be more, right?
He's gonna put all those things into law. That's the plan.
He's
Wow.
literally trying to get more power as we
He
see.
wants to make it more difficult, and he wants people to have the same conservative model, which I don't understand because he's got like between him and Musk are 17
Well, if
kids.
you don't trust your other half, you shouldn't
But
get married
they
with the
want
government.
people to be
He literally
married.
said, "I want to be a dictator just for one day, but a dictator." Like, and you, why would, if you want so much freedom, why would you allow someone to be a dictator?
Nobody's
gonna be a dictator?
Nobody's been a dictator. Nobody's
Who wants to
been
be a dictator?
He said his own words that that's
Who
what he
said?
wants to do.
Where did you hear that at? Where was it
Okay,
at?
so
Literally said that at his
so
rally. He
Trump
said,
said, so
you're a
Trump,
dictator.
it came out of his mouth that he said, I'm going to be a dictator.
Literally, he said it was for one day, but he said,
Oh my God, all these made up things that
And you think,
Trump has said.
and you think that he meant, I'm going to dictate
So
everything.
I think he does because look at how he wants
Hitler.
in
But why is
Mar-a-Lago.
he picking all these different cabinet people?
If he was a
and- I mean,
dictator, he wouldn't let
so y'all
gay
are on this, are y'all
people
stack on, do you know what
You
a
do
dictator,
understand
a
he
dictator doesn't
envies
get any advice from
Hitler.
anybody.
But
Doesn't
the
get
thing is,
any
he's telling
advice
these
from
people to
anybody.
help him
They
run
make
the
all the
stuff.
decisions on their own.
Well, why would he
You
ask
understand
for it to be
all you gotta do is
retroactively
general-
all
applied
you
to
gotta do
November
is look
5th?
at the
under
history.
Hitler.
Do
Like,
what?
why would
God,
you
if
even
you guys
say
are
something like that?
if you guys are claiming that Trump is like Hitler, you're not smart. And I'm gonna say this right now, that is an insult to people who had to go through the
said-
Nazi
So you're
camp.
saying that the
wanted
majority of
generals
America voted
To
for
serve him like
someone
Hitler.
that's going to dictate and act like Hitler.
He's not like
I
Hitler.
think to a certain degree, yes.
Fucking
Correct.
insulting
No, there is no
Also,
But tell me
certain
why-
Kim Jong-un.
But honestly, on a serious note, why did he ask for them to retroactively instate his presidential to November 5th? He's too radical with what he wants to do.
Literally.
He didn't ask.
What do you
Yes,
mean
he
he's too
did.
radical
Yeah,
because
he
he
like
wants
2
to get the
days
border under
ago in
control?
Mar-a-Lago, he was
I think
at
this
a
goes back
What
to
do you
sense
mean
of
he's
humor.
what do you mean he's too
Like,
radical because
no.
he wants to get the border under control? Or he's
No,
too
he's
radical
radical
because he
because
wants
he
the
wants to
border to be
He's
impose
such
all
a
these
American.
stuff.
dictator that he lets gay marriage
He
happen
wants
at
to
his resort
emulate
all the
dictate.
time.
He wants to like do all these changes and he wants them done like yesterday. What about not having the people traditionally vetted by the FBI?
Yeah, what's that? That's ridiculous.
Such a dictator. Because a
Who is?
dictator wouldn't let gay people marry. A
And
dictator wouldn't let
Republicans
trans
were-
women.
I like how the Republican makes
look it up.
points
Pull
about
that
nothing.
video up of him calling himself saying he wants to be a dictator. That's
Yeah.
one you should look up. 'Cause
But
that
Right.
seriously
seriously,
happened.
he wants to impose all this stuff, and he's like, "I want it done now, and I'm not going to have my people go through the FBI. I'm going to have them do this secret thing, and then I,
want
don't
him
want
to get
recess
stuff done
appointments.
right
I'm gonna do it
away.
this
I want
way."
things done real quick. I don't need my taxpayer dollars going towards scum illegal immigrants.
Really, because his scum money went
How
to
much
paying
money do you
off
make a year, the
the
Republicans?
sluts that he
If
slept
we
with.
want to talk about money going places and taxes, how about all the freaking money that was spent on
Ukraine.
Trump's
And I make a lot of money,
On
Marie,
Trump's,
if you're curious.
on Trump's trials and all that. How about all that
50,000.
money
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, they
flushed
forgot
down
about
the
that.
toilet?
108.
How about all
So
that?
what is
No,
Yeah,
no,
they-
no.
the
I want you to
Republican?
answer that question.
Yeah.
Answer it.
What? I didn't even hear because I was talking to them.
All the money that went to trying to persecute
I
Trump
fucking
in
agree,
trials.
What about
All the
that? How do you
government
feel
money.
about that?
Because he of the crimes that he truly committed.
How
What
do
crime
you
did he
feel
truly
about it?
commit?
Oh, is that what we're
What
talking
crime?
about?
What crime did
Yes.
he truly
Yes.
commit?
I mean, it's
And
part
now
of the
he's
necessary
elected.
means.
You
This
should
is
let
this
something
system.
What?
That
What
It's
was
flushed
crime?
down the
necessary
toilet.
thing.
It's flushed down the toilet.
But so is the money that he used to pay hush money.
What hush money?
When Trump's
Come
on the
on.
board, when Trump's
Proven
in president,
false.
you won't ever have to vote again. Remember when
Do
you
what?
said that?
It was a. You take everything and twist it. It didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily mean it like he puts it in a way. He didn't mean it that way. He even came out, and that's been debunked. He even
Yeah, I mean,
came
they're
out and
already-
spoke to it.
They're already prepping.
But how do you
for
feel
the
about somebody
2028.
selling
Who said
$60 Bibles and saying we're going to make America great?
Exactly.
But the mofo couldn't even get the Bibles printed in the U.S. He got them from China. You
Yeah,
care
well,
about
I
American
don't
jobs,
agree
but
with
you're not
that in the
smart.
Bible
Wait,
thing.
Jamie,
I still want to know what the Republicans' monthly or yearly income is, or what her tax bracket is, because
Mine? Why does it matter to you?
saying,
I work security and I'm going to school for criminal justice. What are you
because
doing
you
for
keep
work?
saying, because you keep saying about everything that it's getting taken away from you.
I never said, what the fuck are you talking about? Nothing's
He
being
never
taken
said
away
anything
from
was
you.
being taken away from her.
He
That's-
said that her health care was too
Get this
expensive.
fucking
She needed
bitch
it
out of here.
lowered.
Get this
All right,
She
Maga Little
said-
Girl. What do
lesbian
people
out
call you
of here. I
besides
don't wanna
Maga
hear
Little
it.
Girl?
So I just want to know.
Fucking spreading fake news. I never said shit like that. You want to see my tax bracket? Girl, you probably work in a grocery store. I
No. See, this
Like,
is
what do
how-
they call
this
you
is how
besides Maga
arguments
Little
start.
Girl?
I work in private
that's a
security.
mouthful.
I work in private security. I'm going to school for criminal justice. Let's see her tax bracket. I would love to see her doing that. I don't give a fuck if you're a teacher. Clearly, you don't get paid enough. So you're not going to ask me for my tax bracket and how much I make when you literally do not make more than me.
Why
Irish
does it
teachers.
even matter?
Yeah, what
It
is that? Yeah,
matters
what does
because
that
she
have to do?
commented on my tax bracket. That's what she did. And
But you
I
take
work
it too
private
personal. Like,
security.
they're just like statements.
Okay.
I'm
I
so
also
happy
work
I live in
private
Canada.
security.
And she was saying that I
Like,
said I'm going
real
to
Maga,
have my
what can we
rights.
call you for short?
What?
What can we call you for short?
I don't know.
But I will say
I
that I never.
had Patriot on my other one, so I don't know. No.
But did I ever say that my rights were going to be taken away? When did I say that? Can Jamie
No, you
verify
never
that?
said that.
I have ADHD to the maximum degree, so if it was said like 10 seconds ago, it's already out.
It was never said.
Yeah, but you don't forget things 10 days
Well,
ago.
apparently Jamie did.
No.
Can I ask Brittany a question?
Yes, please.
You asked, I know you're from Canada, you asked questions about the politics in the United States. I gotta ask you over in Canada.
Marie, I want to see your tax bracket.
I want to ask you how you feel over there. I know that you got some of the very strictest PP laws. I don't believe even really too many Canadians are able to own them in their homes.